I figure mask would be like the longest fucking thing.
It can be
next to long tights, right?
Yeah, kick pads would be honestly.
Kick pads is a long process.
He's just really good at it.
Yeah, I've just gotten like a lot better at it from doing it, which makes me want to make so much more. From being a guy who just bought pants or tights and just added stuff with fabric paint to being a guy who can now make everything from scratch to now from making trunks from scratch to now making knee pads and kick pads and trunks and even jackets from scratch. It's like I'm asking too much of myself to like make all this gear because like I don't like wearing the same thing twice. I'm very much
you're like the rapper of wrestling gear. So like the rappers that lick the bottom of their shoes because they ain't worn that shit yet.
I'm fucking Fat Joe. Fat Joe of the wrestling world.
Sick.
Never been more.
I think he's Puerto Rican too.
Yes, he's very Puerto Rican. He's one of those white Puerto Ricans.
Yeah. He's like
because they come in all different freaking colors.
Yeah, that's what I've learned.
But that's what I've learned. But no, like the kit pads are really fun. I experimented with the whites having the show and stuff. And not just being able to have a show because I did the Heavy On show last Sunday,
which I saw highlights for.
Really and I wish I could see more of the match. I just like critiquing myself and seeing what I need to change.
Yeah, I do too. I usually like knowing like how good you're getting and knowing that you haven't gotten any better yet, you piece of shit.
But like seeing the gear, really, I'm just more watching my gear and seeing how it holds up in the ring, whether it rides up.
Like you completely gave up critiquing matches. Now you're just
like I don't care how I look.
It's like, oh shit, that was a ruthless chop, but my kick pad.
Exactly.
That shit was hot, dude.
Because I saw the images of me in the kick pads and I was like, fuck. Because I adjusted my pattern for the shape or the width of the kick pads to be a little bit smaller because I think I made it too big. And so before I adjusted it, that was when I made those croc skin ones. So I look at the pads and I was like, the pads are a lot thicker than I really want them to be. So so when I adjusted them, that's what the white ones are now. The white ones are nice and narrow on the pad, and it just goes up into being a little bit thicker at the top. Yeah. And but seeing that, it's like, okay, the next ones I make would be more adjusted and all that. But just pretty much watching my gear and see how my gear looks on camera and stuff, how it looks. See if it rides up, see if my pads shift, if they go down in any way. I've changed up how I do my knee pads, changing up the using the same padding that I use for the kick pads I'm using for the knee pads now. Because I was using a different padding that was a lot more softer and flimsier, and it gets really worn out with all the sweat, so I'm changing that up. Because now everything's a little bit more top quality after doing some test runs and all that. And now I'm doing some new kick pads for myself. I just waiting for more black leather to come in for me to do it. But it's similar. It's in the realm of the Green Arrow inspired ones with the big extra padding on it. Whereas like I told myself I'm never gonna do anything like that again. But then I really thought about it. I was like, it's not that fucking hard.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. I'm never doing this again. I'll be back next week. I'm never doing this again. I'll be back next week. The Craven Knight story.
But these are a lot more Batman inspired in a way. Like the armor.
Long enough.
Yeah, the iron. I know. I'm waiting because I have to really practice and perfect my style before I can work myself up to a Batman suit.
Level.
Yeah.
Word.
Because if I'm gonna do Batman, it can't be on my my
it can't
beginner.
Be bullshit.
It can't be in my novice stage. I have to be at my freaking.
If you can just somehow make a utility belt that's all foam.
I could.
And bump in it. Gas grenades go off and shit. You start tasing yourself.
But no, like these are.
You throw batarangs when you chop. No, when you chop, you got something in your hand that's like the BVS bats. So, like, that you chop them and then the symbol is just on their chest.
Well, like, I throw them in the...
You branded me! Yeah! You shot the bat.
It's just this big bat logo with a CK in the middle.
Yeah, I just chopped it on his ass.
You can be Batman too. Why
you don't know what the symbol means in prison. Justice. Alright.
But no, like I'm making these armor-looking kick pads where like the armor is not so wide because I had trouble stitching with the how wide that extra padding was. So I made it, was able to do the patterns for the little pieces. Do a couple pieces where the armor is just like it's not facing down, but it's facing up to those points, but it's not pointy. It's like it reminds the shape of it is not really. It's inspired by, you know how like movies say like this movie was inspired by World War One, and it's a movie about friggin' but it's actually a fucking My Little Pony movie.
Yeah.
Like that's where
inspired by these events.
So that's pretty much like when I say inspired, because I've gotten a commission for the Nightwing set of gear that I did, and that's just straight up like. Nothing against that, but like that's not me just straight up wearing something that has the logo from stuff that I like. Yeah. I like making stuff that is inspired by stuff that I like. So it's like the subtle things that are from the things that I enjoy.
I want to see a red hood out of you.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. The red, the gray and the white with a little bit of black.
Yeah.
Shit.
Give me time, I'll probably get there.
You were talking about doing...
And the jacket too, bro?
You were talking about doing like something along the lines of Metal Gear, and I'm like, dude, that would be...
Like because when I was thinking about, the first time around, when I was thinking about making a mask, I wanted to do something along the lines of a cyborg ninja. Yeah. I was like, how the fuck would that really work?
Yeah, it would.
And I was like, I can work my way up to that, but like a lucha mask that looks like cyborg ninja won't be the easiest. But I just have to create. That's something a lot more thought has to go into.
Yeah,
I can't just do the mask that I did that came out really well, which like I'm only talking about it on here because not that many people listen. Mm-hmm. So it's something
we're gonna change that with this podcast.
Yeah, eventually. But like I made the mask just so for this one show typically, because I even talked to a couple mask dudes backstage and it's like, yeah, I made this for that show. I was like, you put a lot of work in for just that one show. I was like, well, I need a mask. I wanted to make my own. And I'm just a fucking overachiever.